Section 10.8, we are talking about vectors. Okay, so what a vector is, it has two functions to it. It's got a magnitude and it also has direction. So you can say that a vector is a directed line segment. Okay, so to write a vector, it could either be a lowercase boldface type with or without an arrow. So if all of these were bolded, because they are bolded, that means that you are talking about a vector. And if they have an arrow on top like this, that is also saying, well, hey, this is a vector. If your vector has an initial point P and a terminal point Q, a vector can be represented as PQ. And you would have a little arrow on top of that. That little arrowhead is what says that, hey, this is not a line segment, this is actually a directed line segment, which is the same thing as saying, hey, this is a vector. And also, if you have these symbols right here, where they're not just parentheses, but they have a point to them, that is also saying this is a vector. Okay. Now, if the initial point of a vector CD is C with components x sub 1 and y sub 1, and the terminal point is D, we'll say it's x sub 2, y sub 2, then the position vector is calculated by x sub 2 minus x sub 1, comma, y sub 2 minus y sub 1. Okay, so what you're doing is you're taking this original vector CD and you're making it a position vector. You're basically putting it on the origin right here. Okay. And it also says the position vector has the initial point 0, 0 at the origin, and it's got a terminal point AB. So we said that vector quantities have two things. It has one, magnitude, and two, direction. So something like force or acceleration. Whereas scalar quantities only have magnitude, something like time, temperature, length, or area. All right, now a zero vector, that's a vector that has no magnitude and no direction. It's represented by a bolded 0. Okay, say we're going to find the position vector of the initial point P, 2, 3, and the terminal side or point Q, 6, 4. Okay, with this V for vector, and what this is going to be, make sure this has a point to it because that says that this is a vector. The terminal side, so 6 minus the initial side, 2. So I'm taking the first components, comma, okay, 4 minus 3, and then the second components. And this will give me 4, 1. So this would be the position vector, which would look like this right here. So we had P, Q right here, and to make it a position vector, we just kind of slid it down until it touched the origin, and then it went out to point 4, 1. Okay, we'll do the same thing for this one. Find the position vector for your initial point, -3, 2, and your terminal point, 4, 5. So V for vector, okay, we're going to take the terminal side with the first components first, so 4 minus -3, comma, and then take the second components, starting with that terminal point, 5 minus 2. So this is going to be 4 plus 3, comma, okay, 5 minus 2, that's 3. So this is 7, comma, 3, and that is your position vector. So what it looked like was this right here. We took PQ, and it's like we slid it until this point right here, the initial point, is on the origin. Okay, to find the magnitude and the direction of your vector, the magnitude is found by the absolute value of your vector, which is really just the square root of a squared plus b squared, or really it's just the components of your vector squared and then you square root them. Okay, so your angle or your direction, you're going to use this formula right here, tangent of theta, which you will move tangent over, it'll become the inverse of tangent of b over a. Make sure that this is in standard position when you give your final answer. Okay. And by the way, two vectors v and u are considered equal if they have the exact same magnitude and the exact same direction. Additionally, if both vectors have the same position vector, they're also equal. Okay, so if we look at this one, find the magnitude and direction of a vector with initial point -8, 1 and a terminal point -2, -5. The first thing I need to do is make this a vector. So the terminal, the first components from the terminal minus the first component from the initial, comma. Then the second component from the terminal minus the second component from the initial. So that will give me -2 plus 8. And then -5 minus 1, that will give me -6. So V is 6, -6. Okay. Now notice this vector is going to terminate in the fourth quadrant because x is positive over here and y is negative right here. So you're going to be in the fourth quadrant. Keep that in mind when you're trying to find the angle. So if we're trying to find the magnitude, that would be the absolute value of your vector. We're going to square root. Okay, this is my A, this is my B. So 6 squared plus -6 squared. So that gives us 36 plus 36, which is the square root of 72, which is the same thing, if we break this apart, it's the same thing as 36 times 2. So 36 times, or square root of 36 times the square root of 2. This will give us 6 times the square root of 2. This is the magnitude of our vector. Okay, and then we're going to find the angle. So tangent of theta is equal to, okay, it says b over a, so -6 over 6. So that is the same thing as -1. Okay, theta is equal to the inverse tangent of -1. And our calculator will give us -45. We already said back here that we're supposed to be in the fourth quadrant. Okay. Now I need another way to describe -45. So this is 45 right here. Actually, let me draw this a little bit bigger. Okay, we are in the fourth quadrant. So this is 45, 90, 45. Across from the 45s are 1s. And this one's negative, and this is square root of 2. Okay. Sorry, I really didn't need to do that. What I'm trying to get is this angle right here. Okay. So in order to get that, what you would do is 360 minus that 45, which would give us 315. That's the angle that I need to use. 315. Okay. So this is the direction of our vector. So here's our magnitude, and then here's the direction of that vector. Okay, so it looks like this right here. So it's starting at the origin, it goes out 6 times the square root of 2, and in order to navigate where that needs to go, what direction, it would be 315 degrees. Okay, now let's look at some rules for scalar product, vector sum, and vector difference. If I've got two vectors, okay, and these are the components of vector A, these are the components of vector B, and A is just a scalar, it's just a number, okay? then if I have a number times a vector, then you take that number times both the components for A. If I'm adding two vectors, then you add the first components from both vectors, comma, then add the components from both vectors for the second. So this is the first component for A, first component for B, add them. This is the second component for A, the second component for B, add them. Same thing for difference, except for you're subtracting. You'll subtract the first components from each vector, comma, subtract the second components from each vector. Okay, so we're going to perform the following using these two vectors. First, we're going to find W minus Z. So we're going to have the first components from both, so negative 3 minus 5, comma, and it's minus because we have a minus right here, and then take the second components, 2 minus negative 1, and that will give us negative 8, and that's going to be plus 1, so comma, 3. Okay, if we look at negative 8z, so we got a scalar times a vector. So all I'm going to do is take z, which is right here, and multiply both components by 8, comma, 8 times negative 1. So that would give us, I'm sorry, that's going to be a negative 8, so it should have a negative right there. That will give us negative 40, comma, 8. Okay, and the last one we'll look at for this is 3w plus 4z. Okay, now the first thing I'm going to do for w is I'm going to multiply both components by 3, and then for z I'm going to multiply both components by 4. So this is going to be 3 times negative 3, and then comma, 3 times 2. Okay, plus, we'll write this down. We're going to have 4 times 5, comma, 4 times negative 1. So this is negative 9, comma, 6, plus 20, comma, negative 4. And then I'm going to add the first components together and add the second components together. So I'll get negative 9 plus 20, comma, 6 minus 4. And you could write plus a negative 4. It means the same thing. Okay, so this would be 9 minus, negative 9 plus 20, that's going to be 11. And then 6 minus 4, that would be 2. And that'd be your final answer right there. Okay, we can break a vector into the horizontal and the vertical components. So if this is your vector right here, so we have the components x and y, we're going to break that into the horizontal, which would be x is equal to the absolute value of v, or the magnitude of v, times cosine of theta. And the vertical component will be y is equal to the magnitude of your vector times sine of theta. Okay, where the magnitude of your vector, remember that, is the square root of x squared plus y squared. So if we look at, we're going to find the magnitude of the horizontal and the vertical components for a vector v with magnitudes 8.3 and a directional angle of 121.3 degrees. So we are going to use x is equal to the magnitude of v times cosine of theta. So x is equal to, they said the magnitude of v was 8.3. So 8.3 cosine of 121.3